Thank you, Devin, and thank you everyone for joining us for this fresh look at the improved landing page for LearningExpress Library and Prep Step. As Devin mentioned, my name is Shayna. I am a senior customer training specialist with EBSCO, and I live in the New York area. I've got a background in education, but I've been working for LearningExpress and EBSCO for a number of years, so I'm very happy to be with you all today. Of course, keep any questions flowing. We've got a small enough group and we'll be monitoring the chat. But we do have a few objectives. We have a quick session today. And so my objectives for you are to quickly know how to navigate the improved homepage layout, to be able to switch between products for your subscription, and to conduct a search using our improved search box, which now supports natural language searches in addition to keyword searching. And you'll also know how to locate all of the promotional tools and administrative resources at our support site, EBSCO Connect. So let me actually cover a few things. I'm going to actually take my camera off so we can focus on the presentation here. I just have a few more slides just to highlight what I'm about to demonstrate live. So we did provide an update last month, or actually no, earlier this month, for the LearningExpress suite of products. We've provided an update really just to be more visually appealing and helping your users get to the content that they need that much quicker. So what we've done really is create a more vertical view of our products on the landing page, and we've organized our learning centers into meaningful buckets of content for quick access. And we've also, as I mentioned, improved the search box on the landing page, which now supports natural language search. So you do subscribe to LearningExpress Library for public libraries, as well as Prep Step for colleges. So you do have multiple products with your subscription. So now what we've done in order to enable accessing those products, we have added a product launcher widget on the landing page. It looks like a Rubik's Cube in the upper right corner of your landing page now with the 9 dots. And clicking that product launcher will expose the different products you subscribe to. So it will allow you to toggle between LearningExpress Library or Prep Step. The default product should appear based on your library's preference or library type. So loosely speaking, for academic accounts, you should see the Prep Step college instance. And for our public libraries, you should see, and school libraries, you should see the LearningExpress library, our flagship platform. Now, Devin did mention that a direct link to Prep Step for colleges was created for the academic libraries just to ensure that they received the right instance. So if you are not seeing what you intend to see, please reach out to our support staff or to Devin, and we'll correct that for you. So that's for you as administrators. For your end users, upon login or upon registration, they'll be prompted with 3 spotlight pop-up guides that shows them how to navigate or to switch between those 2 products. It's a quick 3-step thing, and I'll show you how that works upon login when I go live. The last option is to, step 3 is to click Don't Show This Again, so you won't be forced to navigate through that pop-up guide, but it's just a tool for end users to get acclimated to the improvements for the landing page. So in addition to talking about what has changed, and as I mentioned, it was really that vertical reorganization of our content into meaningful buckets. I think it's also important to reinforce what hasn't changed for all of you administrators. So a lot hasn't changed. Registration and login. The Learning Center homepages, categories, and subcategories function just the same. And you can see in the screenshot here with a link to the Career Preparation Learning Center, it still will expose the main categories of content. Our test, tutorial, microlesson, ebook, and flashcard functionality remains unchanged. The My Dashboard, My Center dashboard of your saved resources as an end user functions the same, no organizational changes there. And any direct links that you have created and have posted on your library's website or in your A to Z listings, those direct links will function as always. As also your authentication token URL, which is that unique identifier for your account, that remains unchanged. So it's largely a cosmetic update, and we are moving towards making some additional changes in the coming months to year or beyond. So this is just the first phase. We are definitely trying to keep our interface fresh, and this is just the first step. So with that, I'm ready for a live demonstration. I'm going to exit out of this presentation, and I will share this presentation with Devin to share out with you um, in addition to the recording that you'll also receive. So I'll start on the nclive.org site. Of course, I know for many of your institutions, you may have direct links to these resources on your library's website, but I also wanted to show where everyone can access it at nclive.org. Here on the landing page, you can browse by all databases, which will bring you to your browse resources, which you can quickly scroll down and filter by EBSCO products, or you use the A to Z listing to navigate to L for LearningExpress Library, complete, and then also, let's see, yes, your Prep Step Academic. So that's where those resources exist. From these hyperlinks, they will direct you to the landing page for your EBSCO Learning or LearningExpress Library landing page. So I am going to start here because this is the default for the NC Live main account. And then we'll see what the academic accounts may see when they access the link on their libraries page. So from the outset, the landing page has more of a vertical view. If you recall, we used to have like one landing page with all these learning centers organized just on the landing page without any real rhyme or reason to the placement of those learning centers. So what you can see now is with this vertical reorganization of the landing page, we have grouped our learning centers into meaningful buckets of content. So the first meaningful bucket is skill building and professional development. And there you will find the Adult Core Skills Learning Center, the Basic Computer Skills Learning Center, and the Amazon Web Services Training Center. The next bucket of content is for career development and job preparation, and that's where you can access the Career Preparation Learning Center. All of our academic skills and test preparation resources for elementary through college are represented here in academic skills and test preparation. High school equivalency, prepare for college, grades 4 to 8 educator resources, high school students and college students. Last but not least, we have our Spanish language bucket with one center, Recursos para Hispanohablantes. All right, so I am going to go to that product launcher widget, the Rubik's Cube in the upper right corner of the top navigation here. Clicking that will show you that not only do you have access to this page, LearningExpress Library, but you can also toggle to Prep Step for colleges. And doing so will bring you to the Prep Step version. So now we see the welcome message for Prep Step, similar organization. Some of the main learning centers are shared, but then of course this gives you access to resources that have been curated for your college students. So we have on the academic skills and test preparation bucket of resources, college level math and science, English, our college success skills tutorials with some great tutorials for soft skills like classroom success, information literacy, and so forth. We also have graduate school admissions preparation, college placement test preparation, ACT and SAT, and high school equivalency. So you'll see some similarities, but then also some unique content to speak to those college students. The career exploration and job preparation bucket still contains the same center, career preparation. And then we have a center called Computer and Technology Skill Building with the same centers for basic computer skills and AWS training. And then last but not least, once again, is Spanish language resources with our recursos para Hispanohablantes. So those are the two products, LearningExpress Library and PrepStep for College. I'm going to toggle back to the LearningExpress Library landing page. And now, before we dive into um, registration, wanted to demonstrate or also show you that the search box is now located in the upper right corner of our landing page, and it prompts you with a question, what do you want to learn today? So it kind of phrases it in a way for a user to insert a natural language query, either by entering a question or typing in a phrase. So I can quickly demonstrate this. This will function prior to login to get users to the resources, or at least the titles and descriptions of those resources. So I can type here, help me prepare, oops, for the SAT, for instance, and some suggestions will be presented, but you'll want to click that search box, magnifying glass in the search box. And we'll see that this will then use AI to interpret your question and the intention, and then deliver relevant resources. So we can see here all of the resources that are available. We have preparing for the digital SAT, a reading fact sheet for the SAT, and so on. So you can always, on the homepage, I'll go back, enter a keyword. So if you are specifically interested, let's say in, NCLEX, you can type that, and then relevant resources based on your keyword will appear. Or as I just demonstrate, entering a question or a phrase, and it will use AI to interpret your research intention or your query. All right, so that's it for the landing page. Let me now start by logging in. Everyone can, prior to login, take a look at these buckets of content. So let's say we're on the LearningExpress library page and we happen to be interested in career development and job preparation. I can click the Career Preparation Learning Center. The title will still expose the main categories of content. And so, for instance, let's say I am interested in preparing for nursing exams. I can click that, and that will bring me actually to the landing page for career preparation. So this is a landing page that can exist on its own. So if you would like to create a direct link to any of those learning centers, this one, for instance, you can have a direct link here for your users, which will just get them to those resources that much quicker. But this brings me to the career preparation landing page, and it exposes those prepare for nursing exams resources. And now we can take a look at the subcategories for nursing. We've got nursing school resources with tests like the ATITs and the NLN next, preparation for licensure with practice for the NCLEX RN and PN and so forth. If I am interested in practicing for the NCLEX RN, if I were to click the NCLEX RN practice exams subcategory, that will bring me to a page that shows me all of the actual resources, the tests in this case, available to me. And this is where it stops because I haven't logged in. We can see that there's a link here to sign in or register to begin. Okay, so you can dive in, see the resources, the titles and descriptions, but to access those resources, everyone will need to create a personal account or register as sign in as an existing user. Let me go back to the home page. Notice that there are links here to the home page, or we can link to one of those centers if we want to go right into a center. But I'll click back home to show you that Best practice here is to encourage everyone once you are on the landing page to click sign in and register. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'll enter my username and my password. Actually, before I do that, let me click. This is the sign-in screen for returning users, but note for new users, there is a register link over to the right. So new users, all users will have to create an account to access those tests and tutorials and so forth. So clicking the register link brings you to the new user registration page. It will confirm your institution. This is a great way to check to make sure your end users are accessing an authenticated link from your library's website. Since I accessed this from NC Live, the institution is NC Live. If you are utilizing your custom link, then your institution will be listed here. And then users will complete just the required fields listed here and then click register. Keep in mind, uh, we do require an email unless a user clicks this register without email option. This changes the registration for new users to allow users to create an account without any personal information, i.e. their email address. Instead of providing an email address, which would only be used for password reset, users would instead complete the required fields, creating a username of their choosing, and then selecting a security question from the drop-down list here and providing a secret answer. That will enable them to reset their password in the event that they forget it. Let me click back to the login screen. Once again, enter my credentials. And log in. All right, so remember the pop-up widget that I wanted to demonstrate. As a user upon login, this is what I will see. It's just going to quickly acclimate you to this experience using the product launcher. So we'll quickly go through this pop-up widget. This lets me know that Rubik's Cube icon, or 9 dots, allows you to access everything in your EBSCO Learning subscription. I'll click next to pop out of this one. It's going to take me to the second pop-up, which lets me know this is where I will toggle between the two products that my institution subscribes to. And then I'll click finish. And then it lets me know I've completed that quick tour. I can click continue, or if I don't want to show this again, I'll click that little tick box, but I'll go ahead and click continue. And then that's going to bring me to the landing page. I am logged in. We know that we're logged in because my name is now listed in the top navigation bar instead of the sign and register link. So EBSCO Trainer is my name for demonstration purposes today. I can access my center dashboard of saved resources. I can access user settings or log out from here. All right, so we are logged in, and since we are logged in, I'd like to show you a few things as administrators that you should be aware of. If you haven't visited us in a while, you can always stay abreast of the latest content updates. So Learning Express, or rather now we're called EBSCO Learning, we provide quarterly content updates on the calendar year, so you can always see what new resources we've added or updated or decommissioned. So we can see the what's new link here. This is only visible from a logged in state. So you won't see what's new unless you have logged in. And every user is a user. It's just one level, whether you are a student, a librarian, or an administrator, everybody creates an account in the same way. Everybody can see that what's new link, but this is especially important for administrators to see what new content there is. And this is an opportunity to promote new resources. So check back quarterly, give or take a few weeks. Let's click the what's new link here now. And because you have 2 subscriptions to PrepStep and Learning Express, we have 2 quarterly content updates for each subscription. So let me go ahead and click the PrepStep Academic subscription. And here's what's new since April. So we have, and it's organized by Learning Center. So in the ACT and SAT test preparation Learning Center, we have the new digital ACT content. So we are just now releasing content in anticipation of the ACT going digital. We now have digital writing, digital math, digital reading, and digital science practice tests available for digital ACT. Under the graduate school admissions preparation, we added a new optometry admissions test, the OAT. Under career preparation, we have added a new physical therapist assistant practice and a number of new flashcards, English, Spanish terms for healthcare, a number of flashcards uh, for several topics, admissions processes, basic anatomy, childhood illness, dentistry, and so forth. So lots of new flashcard content for English, Spanish terms for healthcare. Let's move on. Let's see. We've also added ServSafe Manager practice exams, and we've also added the ServSafe Management practice exams in Spanish as well. So those are the ServSafe food handler resources that were added, I believe, last year. So now we're offering the manager practice exams as well in English and Spanish. So that's it for the updates since April. There were a lot. So I would check back every 3 or 4 months to see what's been added. Okay. You can download this list as a PDF or a CSV if you'd like. Let's go back and I'll quickly show you what's new in LearningExpress Library. A lot of the similar resources here. So OAT is there. But in the Prepare for College section, we've got new AP Physics C. And there go the digital ACT resources once again, and then also the Spanish English terms as well. So oftentimes there's a lot of overlap here. One thing I noticed that we haven't added are some Amazon Web Services training resources, but the last update had a ton of those. I'll show you we can access previous updates. This is just going to show you the latest, but as I mentioned, quarterly updates are provided. So you'll be able to see those. We'll show you the most recent, but I'll show you where you can access previous ones. All right, so let us click back home. Other things I want to point out available to administrators are available on the help link. All users can view, even prior to login, frequently asked questions, registrations, system requirements, and video guides. Things you can only see after you have logged in, uh, the list of ebooks, excuse me, because this is based on your subscription. So the list of ebooks will only be available in this help dropdown once you have logged in. This is also handy because this is an aggregated list of all of the ebooks on our products. So all of the ebooks for Prep Step or for LearningExpress Library are available here in a list. So I'll click, in this case, Public Library for LearningExpress Library, and this will provide all of the ebooks available on the platform with links to launch right on this page. So if you haven't visited us in a while or haven't clicked into an ebook lately, we have made some updates to our ebooks viewer. So if you recall, when you used to access an ebook, it would automatically download to your desktop or external, your desktop rather, or your downloads folder, I should say, on your desktop. But now we are launching our ebooks within the interface here. So let me access, I'll access the ACT Flash Review. I'll click the Launch hyperlink, and we'll see that it's going to load the ebook right within our interface here. So we're now taking a look at the ACT Flash Review, a resource still published under our LearningExpress trademark here or register mark. 448 pages for this ebook. If you have been with LearningExpress as long as I have, you may recall that we started out as a publishing company. So we continue to publish a small number of titles, a little over 200, I believe, and we make those available in ebook format on your LearningExpress platform, whether you are accessing it through PrepStep or through LearningExpress Library. So now we provide the access within this interface. Now, our entire interface is responsibly designed, so you can view this ebook whether you're on a desktop or a laptop or a phone. It will automatically adjust based on the screen size. Tools available within this viewer include the ability to zoom in or zoom out. You can fit to page or increase by percentage. And then there are tons of tools over here, including the ability to print, uh, pop that into full screen mode, and the download option is still available. So these are all DRM free resources that allow you to access and download. They're yours to keep. Comes with unlimited access. So a great tool when physical resources are not available at your library. Know that you have about 200 ebooks available to your patrons on this platform. All right, so some great tools there. I'm going to click Finish Later here to save this in my center. I'll click that Finish Later link. And we're actually at the My Center here. Since I saved it, it's going to save it to the ebooks tiles. We can see that ACT ebook. I've only viewed one out of 448 pages. I can resume here. I can delete it here. And if I'd taken notes, then my notes will be available here. But the little notes icon is grayed out because I didn't take notes. If I wanted to get to the My Center homepage of all of my saved work, I'll click the My Center hyperlink. I can also access My Center from the navigation at the top. And so this is where all of the resources I save as an end user are stored. So there we go. We're organizing these resources by the different resource types. So we just saved that ebook and it is now visible here as well. Okay. All right. Let me click back home. Additional resources I like to point out since I've got your attention, and I don't see any questions in the chat. All of those administrative resources that I wanted to point out, additional resources, I should say, are available on any page of the platform in the gray footer. So in the gray footer at the bottom of any page, you'll see a hyperlink to administrators and librarians. Clicking that will bring you to the administrators and librarians page with access to our help guides, which is going to give you a quick link to our EBSCO Connect page. I'm going to go there in a moment, but also we have quick start guides in English and Spanish. This is a great tool to print out for patrons in English or in Spanish to guide them through navigating through this platform. If you want to make our tests and our tutorials, our ebooks, our flashcards, all of those resources discoverable in your catalog, you can use our MARC records, and there are MARC records instructions here. You will need to know your MARC access key. The MARC access key is actually your authentication token URL, and that is the custom URL that you were given with your custom link. So I'm highlighting my URL here for NC Live, and we see that learningexpress.hub.com. If we scroll over to the end, we'll see a question mark auth token equals, and at the end, there is an alphanumeric string of numbers. That is your authentication token. That is also getting back to the MARC records page, your MARC access key. So just a quick pro tip, if you enter that code, you'll be able to then download your MARC records. But detailed instructions are provided here. You can always also reach out to support to have your MARC records downloaded for you. All right, and then on this page, you can quickly get to that list of ebooks that I just showed you under the help link. But let me go ahead and click the help guides here. This is going to actually pop us into our dedicated page on EBSCO Connect for all things Learning Express. So this is our knowledge base for Learning Express articles and tutorials and promotional materials and so on. And we organize this by the different products. So you can filter by Learning Express library, by prep step, by computer skills. Those are the 3 resources you subscribe to. So let's filter by prep step, for instance, kind of toggling between both just to give everybody equal opportunity. So now we're taking a look at all the prep step resources. This is where you can access the new content. The quarterly content updates are available here. So if we click that, we can take a look at the most recent quarterly content update. So this April 2025 is the link to what we just reviewed in product. The previous one was for January. And then we can download last year's quarterly content updates, 2023, and so on. All right, so if you want to see progression of what we've added to our platform, this is where you can do that. Let's go back to the knowledge base. So that was a new content list. We have all of our promotional kits. So if you want to promote this resource to increase visibility and ultimately usage, great place to go. All of our promotion kits are available here. So if I click that, I can choose between our Prep Step for colleges and universities or Prep Step Academic, which is what you guys have. We also have a link to the LearningExpress Library Complete, which is what you also have. I'll click the Prep Step for colleges and or academic rather, which is a combination. Oh no, it's not academic. You have colleges and universities. No, I think you do have academic. That's a combination. So this is where you have some special resources, including, let's scroll down, the printable materials like our posters, our handouts rather, our shelf talkers, uh, our entire social media kit, our logo, and so forth. Okay, we even have a best practices guide published by our marketing department here available to you. Let's go back to the landing here. And I do also want to point out for Prep Step, let me go into the Prep Step page here. I thought we had, I guess it's on I thought we had the LMS guides here, but I'm not seeing it. It might be my eyes. I'll just go there and I'll just make sure I include that link. Let's see. No, that's the LAL complete. All right, so I'll just go here. I know that I have it somewhere. For the Prep Step resources, we do have an LMS integration guide. So if your institution utilizes a learning management system like Blackboard or Brightspace D2L, Canvas, or Schoology, you can utilize our LTI tool to pull those individual resources into your learning management courses. And so this is a great tool to enable for instructors or faculty if you want to incorporate special resources in with your LMS. This does allow for grade pass back and reporting in the same way any other resource you would have enabled with as an LTI tool in your learning management system. It's only available for Prep Step, so we don't have LMS or LTI tools for the LearningExpress library suite of products, but the Prep Step, they are LMS compatible. So this is another thing to make you all aware of. This is each links to the system admin instructions for making that integration. And then it also provides quick tutorials from the instructor view as well as the user view, the student view, on how those resources get added to your LMS. So some great resources to be aware of. All right, so I think I've covered all the administrative things I wanted to, and we are just about a little over a half an hour. I do want to open it up for any questions. Let me go and pop back into our homepage here, and we'll see if anyone wants to ask a question or make a comment. I'm open to anything that makes you wonder. And if not, I guess I've done my job. So we can end the session. I'll give you some time back in your lives. We can share this recording as well as my presentation slides. And if you do come up with any questions after, or if you think of anything, let me know. Oh, I do have a question here from Wen. Please explain what is in the AWS Training Center and also what is in the Spanish Resources Center. Great, I can do that. Both are available whether you are on LearningExpress Library or PrepStep. And I'm sorry, we should have spent some time on some resources. we were really just talking about the navigation, but I can go into demoing anything that piques your interest. So AWS, Amazon Web Services, is a special center because it is AWS authored resources. So everything else on our platform, for the most part, besides AWS and computer skills, these are resources that we partner with. So in the AWS Training Center, you'll see several main categories of content. These are courses developed and delivered by Amazon. Uh, and we can see that the topics are everything from artificial intelligence through database migrations, the Internet of Things, game technology, server deployment, working with the AWS console. If I click anywhere here, I'll just start with the AI services. It's going to bring us to the landing page for the this AI services, and it shows that there are 18 courses related to AI services, and we can see all the topics. Amazon Q, developing generative AI solutions, essentials for prompt engineering. Notice that each of these have a launch point, which will launch you to the AWS course console. So if I click this, it's actually going to take me out of Learning Express into a new tab to our AWS partner page. So we are an approved vendor to deliver these courses to your end users. And so now we're taking a look at this particular uh, course, the essentials of prompt engineering. We can click start course here. So this looks very different because we are no longer on Learning Express. We are now in AWS. We can see the overview of the course. We can click to launch. We can scroll down to an outline of this course, but these are AWS courses. Now, back on our page, at the top of the landing, in the green box, it lets you know that if you want to access the AWS Cloud Institute to register for the training program to earn your certification, then this is a quick link into AWS Cloud Institute where you can apply or sign in. Okay, so we're basically providing links to all of those resources, hundreds of courses on this platform, and information on how to obtain your credentials, your certification for AWS. But the courses are available here for your end users. That is a relatively new course. So I believe we added the AWS Learning Center uh, I think in 2023, at the end of 2023, maybe early 2024. So it's a relatively new center, but it's all AWS tech topics for eventual certification, AWS certification. All right, so that's great. The other center that has content that we actually haven't, that we've partnered with, and this is not proprietary content, is the computer skills. So we contract with a provider for all of these. And so in the Microsoft Office Basics, you can access a video tutorial. I'll just access Excel Basics, for instance, and I'll launch Microsoft Excel. This is a video uh, passive resource. Um, in the table of contents in the upper right corner, it shows you how that, I think this is a 2-hour long video, is how it's broken down into these mini videos so you can quickly view, for instance, let's say I want to learn how to use window elements. I can click into that quick video.
Anytime you're using apps, you want to be comfortable using window taskbar. So in the top right hand corner, we do anything with these buttons.
All right, so I just quickly showed you that. I know that wasn't an ask of yours, but I wanted to show you that we do have, in addition to the AWS Learning Center, we've got these video tutorials. These are passive, so you'll watch the instructor as they demonstrate the features and functionality, in this case, Excel Basic, and you can apply what you learn to your own software. If you go through the entire video, you will get an opportunity to print a certificate of completion. The difference with these are that it doesn't give you an opportunity to then earn Microsoft certification. The certificate is just really for your own edification. Where with the AWS Center, we do link you out to the AWS Cloud Institute to earn actual certification. All right, so let me click back home. And you also wanted to know about the Spanish resources. So under Spanish language resources, this is not an ESL center. These are resources delivered in Spanish for your Spanish speaking patrons and students. So if anyone prefers to read and learn in their native tongue, they can access Recursos para Hispanohablantes. Now, if you do not speak or read in Spanish and you want to know what is available here, um, all you have to do is take a look at the Adult Core Skills Center because this is the complement to the Adult Core Skills Center. So you can access basic math skills, basic reading, writing, speaking, and grammar skills, and resources to become a U.S. citizen. So these four main categories are delivered in full Spanish for in the Recurso Center. We also house our GED preparation exam in Spanish here because you can, for high school equivalency, take the GED in Spanish. So we also house that in Recursos. So any of our resources that have been converted into full Spanish are available on Recursos para Hispanohablantes. And just a little history about adult core skills and Recursos. Our founder, Barry Littman, many, many years ago, started out in publishing and I forget where he was at McGraw, but he discovered in creating test preparation books that it didn't really matter what vocation someone chose or what career someone chose. Everyone needed a basic understanding or a basic competency in math, reading, writing, speaking, and grammar to do well in their chosen profession. And so they developed the adult core skills to brush up on those fundamentals for math, fundamentals for becoming a better reader, fundamentals for writing, speaking, and grammar to improve their um, performance in their chosen career. So that's what adult core skills is, and that is also what Recursos is for those who prefer to read or learn in their own language. Hopefully that's a good question. Yes, I see that you're pleased with that answer. Anyone else? All right. Well, I do appreciate your time, everybody. And if you think of any questions, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is on the presentation, so you can always reach out to me via email or to Devin, of course, and we talk. So just let me know if you need anything. Thanks for your time and attention, everyone.
Thank you so much. This was fantastic. Folks, I hope you have a great rest of your Wednesday. Keep an eye out tomorrow for a follow-up email with the slides, the recording, and a feedback survey. All right. Take care, everybody. Thanks so much.
Bye-bye now.